In today's video I will show you how to get access to all the images inside your Flutter application and display it inside a listview.builder. So if you know, in Android, scope storage was introduced recently and it restricts the developer to get access to all the images, which is good for privacy concerns. But in case if you have a image editing app and you anyhow require access to all the images, there is a way to get that as well. Firstly I will show you guys an output. So firstly, if I click on get all images, so here you will redirect the user to the settings, and inside the settings the user have to manually click on allow access to manage all files. This is the only way. If you are looking to pick only one particular image, I already have an video about that, so you can check that out if you are curious. But if you want to access all the images, this is the only way. So at least for Android. So if I click on allow access to all manage all files, and if I go back, then here you can see like I have 3 images and I am displaying inside listview.builder. I will attach the iOS output as well, like the iOS simulator is downloading something just at the time of recording. So yeah, let's get started. So as usual, I have created a Flutter application, and inside main.dart, what I have done is I have refactored the homepage widget. So there are two components to it. One is a method channel for picking all the images, and second one is an native platform view called image view to display the images. So this I don't know, I am not using this data I guess, but this image picker platform is the method channel which I have created, and I have also created a list where you will get all the image URIs from the native side. So if you see, I just have a text button at the start, and here on press of the text button I am clearing out our list. Then I am calling the pick image method which is present inside the method channel, and it will indirectly give you a string of results. So what I am doing is, on the native side itself you are getting a list as well, but I am converting that list to string, and the string would be in an kind of like a list format. That's why I have to do some kind of handling of that string and convert it back to string again in a Dart format. And once I get that over here, I'm just here you can see that I'm just using an expanded widget. Inside that I'm using listview.builder, then just a size box, and this is our custom image view class which I have created. If it is empty, just display a size box. So here in my image view.dart you can see I've just created a stateful widget, and here I have created a creation params, and inside the creation params we will be passing the image URL for each and every image. So if it is an Android view, this will get displayed. If it is an iOS view, we are displaying a UIKit view. So for Android, what you have to do, go to Android manifest firstly, and here you have to add read external storage as well as manage external storage. So if you are using Android below Android R, then you will have to use this API, but above Android R and above, then you will have to use manage external storage. You also can see that Google plus Play Store has a policy that limits usage of manage external storage. So I think once you are uploading this APK, you will have to justify why you require this manage external storage permission. If it is unnecessary, then Play Store will just reject your APK. Next, inside main activity.kt, before that you will have to go to build.gradle.kts, and this build.gradle and I am using 1.9.0 of Kotlin. If you want, you can upgrade it. I think you should upgrade it. And inside build.gradle.kts, this one I have updated the compile SDK version to 34 as well, which is Android 14, and I have added implementation of coil because this will help us to load image URIs into an image view, and these two dependencies are required because we want to use register for activity result. Next, inside main activity.kt, what I have done is I am extending from Flutter fragment activity, and here I am using a method channel result. Once I do that, I'm using this request permission launcher. So for register for activity result, this is old way. If you are requesting read external storage permission, so once permission is granted, we are calling get all images, and this is the new way. So here we will redirect the user to this action manage, and once you get a callback, we are just checking if if that permission was granted or not. If yes, then get all images. So here you can see request manage external storage permission. So if it is above Android R, redirect the user to settings, and if it is below Android R, then just ask for read external storage permission. And here I am created a list which will store a list of all the image URIs which are present, and another helper class which will help us to understand whether the user has already given us the permission or not for Android R and above. And inside configure Flutter engine, also I'm not sure if I told you, you should use Flutter fragment activity over here because of this register for activity result. And inside configure Flutter engine, you will just have to register your image view which we have created, and this should be the same which you have defined it on the Dart side. Similarly for method channel, same method channel name, and once the pick image is called, I'm just checking if above Android R, and if the user has granted the permission, then get all images. Otherwise if otherwise request for that permission, and if it is below Android R, then just call read external storage permission. And for getting all the images, we are using content resolver. So these are all the things which I want from my images, and we are just looping over it to get each and every image URI, and I'm just adding it to our image URI list dot add image URI. And while sending it back to the Flutter side, here you can see I'm converting it back to string. And if I come to my image view .kt, here I have just created a created a image view class, and I'm just returning image view over here. And this load method is from coil, and we are just passing the image URL from over here. And image view factory, this is like boilerplate class which you have to write for declaring any kind of a native view. So that's it for Android. For iOS, here you can see the iOS simulator is still downloading. So for iOS, what you will have to do, first go to info.plist, and you will have to add this permission photo library usage description. Next, just create two Swift files called, first one is my image view native view factory, and again this is boilerplate code which you have to write while defining a native iOS view, and it references my image view native view, so create a Swift file for that as well. And here you can see I'm importing photos, and you will get the image URL from the Flutter side. So once we get that, we are calling create native view, and once inside that method we are initializing our UI image view and adding it as a sub view to our view. And this is like boilerplate code for doing NS layout constraints. So once we have the image URI, we call get photo in library, which will exactly pick the get us the image from the image URI. But in case of iOS, it is actually a local identifier, but that's fine. And here this is the code for getting the actual image once you have the local identifier for your image. And go to app delegate, import the photos framework as again. Here we are defining our Flutter result, then here I have defined an array, then here we are registering our image view, then here I have defined our controller as well as our method channel. So this is the method channel which I have to, and once the pick image is called, I'm just assigning our Flutter result to our Flutter result variable and requesting for photo library permission. So once user has granted all permission, then only we are calling fetch image from library. If even if he has given limited permission, we can't, this app won't work. So you just have to give an error or something. Just for now I'm just printing it to the console, and this is the code for fetching images from library. And once it is here you can see I'm appending it to our array, and while sending it to Flutter side I'm converting it back to string. So yeah,